everyone. So it is Monday the 16th and it's 4:17 in the morning. So I've been driving for about half hour now. We have a 3-hour drive going quite far down south for the mobile processing for a lovely chap. So yeah, I set out about 3:20 to 4. It was a bit of a blur because I had to go back because I forgot my coffee, so I pulled all out, did everything, ran back inside, I forgot the coffee, realised that I needed a chainsaw, or a spare chainsaw, and then after that I was alright. So I had a bit of a back and forth this morning, like, what have I got? Double check the straps, headed on out. So yeah, travelling. We've got Jake with me today. We're doing the same again tomorrow. It's going to be a really hot week, so I kind of want to get it out of the way. We do have some processing booked in for Thursday. However, the chaps asked if we could postpone it because he thought he didn't have enough rings logged up for the Splitter 400. I'm easy. If that's what he needs to do, that's what he needs to do. I never say no to a free day. It allows me to get a lot of the stuff that I've been meaning to get done actually done. So I'm looking to mobile process today, mobile process tomorrow, and then after that I'll probably process some timber in the yard Wednesday, sort out some more waste Thursday if I'm not there. Then Friday we have a few deliveries picked up last week, which was quite interesting. Probably the hot weather, but we sold quite a few bulk bags. Obviously we keep our 7-day lead times. If we can make any quicker we do, but it still works really well, so sometimes we can deliver within 3, but it gives us time to understand what someone wants, prep the order if we need to prep it, make sure it's extra seasoned, because imagine you're promising, I don't know, 2 days at this time of year, but sometimes you you might be going in that direction, then all of a sudden you get 10 orders like last week, 15 orders, you're like, ugh, now I'm going to have to ring each and every one up to explain why. So what we do is, we say it's a 7 working day delivery, however you get a notification the next day after you place your order of when your delivery actually will be, so you get a delivery date once we scheduled it into the route planner. So we then plan the routes, which is dead easy, it's all automated. We can have multiple routes for multiple drivers if need be, go out, so if we have to sub anyone in for the winter or whatever, we can literally just plan it all. Very quick process, and then they get automatic notifications saying your delivery's been scheduled for this day. On the day of the delivery they get tracking, first thing in the morning we go, your order's out for delivery today. And then soon as we go live, which whenever a driver presses start, it'll go, your order's expected to be delivered between 10:30 and 11:30, and they get tracking. So if we start getting late, they'll say your order will be with you in 30 minutes, 40 minutes. If it's going to be early, they'll be like, you're the next in stop. There's all sorts it does, which is absolutely brilliant. We've used it for a very long time. Might do a video on it. A few people have asked about it. But other than that, we're pretty easy. It's been a bit different with that deck. A lot of rushing about, so I do apologise for the lack of content. I have still been filming where I can and filming loads, but it's just not been like full videos. So I've been managing to do like these style ones where I keep quick updates. Whether or not I upload them all, I don't know, because sometimes they got a bit repetitive. But I'm on the way here to do mobile processing. When I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing the other, because I was doing the same thing for many days. It kind of didn't really make a difference. Plus I was, not really filming on site, so it was a lot of me talking and not a lot of action. So kind of think about what I'm going to do with them videos. But other than that, I spent all weekend editing a lot of videos as well. So we've also got the Ford Ranger video coming out of me rebuilding the Ford Ranger. Did that last week, then had a load of tuning done to it, which is absolutely brilliant. We've got some processing videos, Firewood business growth video. Oh, there's tons. I'm really looking forward to it. I can knuckle down now. I feel like debt leaving was a pain in the backside, but it may have been a blessing in disguise, because sometimes, you know, if it happens in the dead of winter, you're screwed. You can be like all up and down, and on top of that, it's getting me a little look around to say, right, what can I do while I'm out on my own? Can I still handle things? Have I become in such a way where I'm used to having someone with me, so I can't perform as well? However, last week was out. I was overperforming fitness wise. I was logging up in the day in the crazy heats. So realistically, everything worked out okay. Jake's been stepping up where he can. So obviously Jake's with me every day of the week, bear that in mind, but there are things to do in the yard. There are things to do absolutely everywhere, whether we're fetching timber, whether we're, you know, doing things in the yard, whether we're delivering timber, whether we're mobile processing. There's always something to do. Like, I've set out R3 20 to 4. I've got a 3-hour drive to site. I'll do the site work. On my lunch break, I've got a meeting with the accountants, which is pretty standard for this time of the month. It's at the end of a VAT quarter, I think. I'm sure that's what the meeting's about. I'll have to double check. And then I'll be on the way back once I finish work. And once I finish work, I've got 3 hours back. And then I've got a load of maintenance to do. Well, I say to do, I have to go pick up some grease. We ran out of grease on the weekend. There's a few bits I need to pick up. I'll probably end up doing some greasing tomorrow and a load of stuff. We try and grease, you know, at least once a week, but the split to 400 I'd grease every time I use it. But getting through grease pretty well now. Other than that, that is it. So enough of me waffling. It's good like magic. I'm gonna appear outside. So we have arrived. We're all set up. Jake's just starting up all the machine and everything. We got a lot of small timber to do, and then we got some really decent timber, some really good lengths here, to be fair. It was his own, like, thinning, clear felt, whatever. So it's pretty good. Jake's already got a sweat on. Glossy cheeks.
Camera shy.
Camera shy.
Huh? You got film mode? Film this thing we made. Film that. That. They should sell that at Firewood as an add-on.
Cup holder. We want cup holders.
You do? Brilliant.
Set up, ready to go. Go wind it down. Did you put the diesel in? Got the cyclone. I'll turn it on now. All set up. Up. So we're all set up. IBC, so grab an IBC. So we're all set up. We're ready to crack on. I want to set the camera up. So just for you that don't know, obviously I know I've filmed it before. Our setup's pretty simple. We have the log deck, 4 metre or 4.3 metre log deck. You got the Uniforest 4020 Premium. You got self-powered generator, so you know we don't need your tractors, we don't need your electric unless you want to provide it. And then we have the dust extraction unit. We can put a cleaner on or whatever else we need. It just depends what the client wants and how far away they are. Absolutely cracking. Loading us up, absolutely perfect. Grading the timber as he goes along. We are in for a very good day. It's very hot today. Well, it will be. I can already feel the temperature picking up. It's meant to hit 27 degrees today, so we'll see how it goes. I'll set this up. Got the chainsaw ready just in case anything needs snipping, but luckily enough, doesn't look like anything does need snipping. Catch you in a bit. Good size, bigger. Some of them will be a bit smaller because they're the edge pieces.
Yeah, sort of 9 inches, something like that.
Yeah, so they're cut size, I mean like thickness.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's too big.
The old one.
It's not a problem if it is, we can literally whack it through at the end.
It all comes down to the timber, doesn't it? You've got a nasty bit there,
Yeah,
but
the rest of it will come right through. So what's going on, everyone? We are at 10 o'clock. So, 10:02. We have done, I think that is cage number 10 over there. He's emptying the cages out as he goes along. So he has the same 2 cages, empty them out, just so he knows where he's at. Now, when I looked at it, I thought, is that it? Is that all we've done? Because 10 kg sounds a lot, right? And I'm happy with 10 kg so far because we had to set up, everything done. But it just doesn't look like there's 10 kg there. But then Jake, he keeps account on his phone anyway of how much we've done. And yeah, the 10th cage is being filled as we speak. It's almost filled. So it's just crazy, really. Can't believe it. The pile looks like there's nothing there, but it is a big area, so usually in bigger areas the piles do look a bit small. We've got cages going on over there. That was literally almost full. We're coming to the smaller timber now, so things will slow down a little bit. It hasn't been the biggest timber anyway. We had some good stuff at the beginning, and then it's kind of like gone up and down in sizes. Like we went from the 12-way for, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 lengths to the 8-way, and now we've gone down to the 6-way, and I think any minute now we'll be switching to the 4-way. Yeah, the 4-way's not in yet. So we are literally working our way down the sizes, and then we've got literally tons of 4-way, and then we've got tons that he doesn't even want splitted, just like cut the ends off. They're like, I call them chipper grade, but there is a market for it. So it'll be really interesting to see how it goes. I think we'll have quite a bit done by the end of it. His piles aren't lasting as long as he thought he would, I don't think. But look at the bonus. If we get quite a bit done today, right? Yes, we may lose out on a day's work tomorrow, but we've got a happy customer, right? Happy client who will have us back in future. He said to us, he's been looking for ages. I've been looking for someone to get this timber process or timber process and don't just do 10 cube a day and that's it, 10 cube here and there. He said, your boys are cracked on. He's happy. He's finally found someone who can come in, crack on and produce a good volume of timber. I'm not even sure how much of this you can hear because the machine's pretty loud where we are under cover in the shade. The heat is really picking up now. But yeah, so we've got this to do. I've got a bit of Smiller 400 work to do. I'm actually looking forward to getting a load of stuff done in the yard. I'm trying not to order too much wood at the minute. I'm just literally going to just keep ordering and going along, and then we're going to do a big blast. I know when there's a project going on, and there's going to be some really good price timber there. So we're going to trickle through to make sure our stock's kept up. But our main thing at the minute is mobile processing on the Splitter 400 with a bit of wholesale. Obviously our domestic stock was starting to build up. We already had some stock anyway, stored away. So we're doing absolutely well for the time of year it is. The processing is going through the roof, which is great. Our name's getting out there more and more. Yeah, we've always been a bit busy with it, but like at the minute we're getting 2 inquiries a week, which is great. We have ARB guys, we have Firewood guys, we have farmers who just have the woodland, who want their own firewood or serve their locals. Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm really happy. So we'll see how it goes. Jake's just finishing up the last of the smalls. Well, I say the last small stuff. The last of the small stuff for today. We've been on the twigs for half a day. You kind of like one split wonders, I call them. So, cut, split, done. You know, you're using the two-way on the knife more than anything else. They're very small, very long and tedious. You feel like you're not even filling up a cage really till, you know, you've been on it a while and then all of a sudden you go, oh, the cage is full. But on the hindsight, 25, he's on cage 26 at the minute. Obviously we keep swapping because it is tedious. But cage 26, again, if you told me there was 26 cages in that pile, I can see it but I can't see it at the same time. I think, what? But no. Well, actually there's 24 in that pile, there's 2 over there. But to me, because of the area, it kind of throws me off. But the chap's happy for today, considering obviously the timber, as he keeps saying, I know the timber is rubbish, but doing him a favour. We got through all the good stuff at the beginning, because instead of changing the wedges, it's just easy to grade. And you're done. So we're going to pack up in a sec, load up, take everything back, and then we're back here in the morning to finish it all off, hopefully. However much we get done tomorrow is however much we get done. We're all on the same understanding that you might not get everything done, but there's a good chance you will. You know, you're not going to end up with the same as today, really, because, you know, we had better wood in the morning. I wouldn't say it was perfect wood, but better wood in the morning. You know, we got from 10 cages to what? An extra 14, but then it's been the rest of the day. Well, 16, sorry. 14 over there, 2 over there. It's not where I want to be, but it's a job that needs doing and wood that needs to be processed. So, you know, if it makes money, it makes sense, I guess. So, we're all good. Catch you on the way home. Well folks, we're coming up to 8 o'clock at night. I'm literally just left the yard. Well, I say just left the yard, I'm almost home. Long day, not the first long day, and it certainly won't be the last. Started what? Got up at 10 to 3 I think, 5 to 3. By the time I actually got up, I was out on the road pretty quick, and then getting back at 8 to go and quickly have a steak and then do it all over again. Now on the way back, someone gave me a call. I'm not going to do no name dropping. Someone who watches the channel, someone who's involved in the industry, and we were just chatting and talking about the mobile processing and the firewood, the YouTube, the bits and bobs, and he asked how did I get on with my Ranger. I told him that obviously I was rebuilding the engine. And he turned around to me and he said, what makes you get up that early every morning to work till that late in the evening, just keep going and going every day of the week? Even on Sundays I'll go to the yard or pop here or pop there just to do things. So essentially it's 6.5 days a week-ish. I do it every week. I don't go on holiday, I don't take time off. Just because the banks are on holiday don't mean I am. That sort of scenario. And I turned around and I said it, I don't usually put emotional feelings out there, to be fair, like on the channel or anything like that, because I don't want to sound, I wouldn't even say stupid, but obviously I'll tell you why I do this. I didn't want to make a video about it. I just thought I would drop it into this video, and if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. What gets me up every morning? What drives me to do it? Well, my goal in life, at this current point till it's achieved, once my dad has his land to retire on, and I've sorted that out, once my mother doesn't have a mortgage to pay anymore, and then once my missus has got the house that she wants and everything's all sorted there, and then another important one, once I've looked after Jake, my right hand man who works with me, and he's sorted, then I'll slow down, and then I'll, you know, sort myself out and see how things go. I've done this for years. First thing in the morning till last thing at night, working. And once I've done those goals, and it's achievable, you know, it's not as, I've got a long way to go, but it's not as far as people think, right? Once I've achieved those goals in life, and I don't tell them this, they don't know this, I just say, I've got things to do. So they might watch this, they might not, you know, if they watch this, I'll know. But once I've achieved those goals and everyone's looked after, then I'll slow down, and then I can, you know, maintain, manage, and, you know, keep the business rolling, and then I can look after myself. But until then, I'll get up every single morning, work every single hour physically possible, and nothing is going to stop me. If this car can go bang, I'll fix it. Things can break down, I'll fix it. I'll just keep going and going and going. You know, work can just keep being chucked at me, and I'll take every single bit of work. And I've always said on this channel, I'm a working man, and I work to provide for my family. And, you know, Jake, I count him as family, but friends as well. I'll work until everyone I need to look after, they haven't asked to be looked after, they don't want to be looked after probably, but once everyone's looked after, or I think need help, then I will chill out. But until then, it's going to be a lot of YouTube, a lot of work, and, you know, very little rest. I just work, and I really enjoy work. You know, all I want to do is work. That's it. I have that work ethic. All I want to do is work and provide. I get up every morning with I want to say a smile on my face, but, you know, positive attitude. Right, it's another day to get close to that goal. And ladies and gentlemen of the channel, if any of you were wondering, or anyone else was wondering, that is what gets me up every morning. So I can guarantee you get up every day of the year, and you work and work hard every day of the year, and you do that, even just for a year. I saw it. Once you do that for a year, you see changes. Once you do that for 2 years, you see big change. 3 years, 5 years, you think of the changes that are possible. I've been doing this since I was a kid, right? Working. I used to, you know, skip school to go and work and learn a craft, a trade, anything I could do. Anything I could do to earn some money as a young age. I used to, yeah, here's a funny one for you. I used to go and get my mark, and, you know, my mum, if she ever pops up on the channel one day, she'll tell you I caused my mum and dad hell, really. Because I used to go in school, get my mark, just so no one knew I was off. I used to go and get my jumper, chuck it on the security fencing, jump over, go work. 60 quid a day, 30 quid a day, 20 quid a day, work experience for free. You know, and it's made me what I am today. Do you know what, if there's an actual like workaholic, if it's an actual like disease, or, you know, an actual like mental illness, having to work, that's me. I cannot sit still. I can, you know, my missus will preach to me, to preach to you on this one, always tapping, always buzzing away, thinking, right, what next, what next, what next? You know, I've worked in my sleep before. You know, when I'm sleeping, I'm so deep in a sleep, you know, and she tells me to stop snoring. I'm talking about stacking bags, for God's sake. I'm talking about timber in my sleep. That's how bad it gets, people. You know, I work in my sleep, and I work when I'm awake. What can I say? So, you know, it's just one of them things that I've always wanted to do, be able to make sure everyone has a nice life, Just to be clear though, I don't do YouTube for the money or anything like that. And to be fair, you can argue that it is even worth your time or pay, but it's worth it to me because whilst I'm helping my family out, I want to help out you. I want to help out your families. I want to help out anything I can to pass on knowledge, to make your evening better, because some people love watching these sort of things and watching Archie and watching, you know, many other channels with day in life because it makes the day. Anything I can do to make someone's life better, that's what I want to do, and that's what I want to be remembered for. I want to, you know, it's just how I am. So, no soft, you know, no soft stuff, no mushy stuff. It's just, you know, focus, hard work, dedication, and, you know, it is going to pay off. It is paying off, and, you know, in the not so distant future, hopefully, if I work hard enough, or a miracle happens, you know, we could all win the lottery. We can get everything sorted. Just like that, we are on the next day. It feels like that for me as well. It feels like I got home, quickly had a bite to eat, showered, bed, alarm's going off. Wait, that did happen. So we're coming up to 10 o'clock. Getting quite a bit done. I think we're on like 8 kgs, which again is pretty slow. It might be a bit more than that, I lost count. There's such a delay between cages. We have been marking it though in the cab, or Marcus has. But in all fairness, it's not too bad under the circumstances, really. I think we've had a good crack at it under the circumstances, but you know, it's still cheaper than what you could process it for, I would have thought. You know, by the time you think of your time and everything goes in it, it is a lot faster. You know, one of the fastest parts of this machine is the cutting speed. You think how much time on cutting is saving, because obviously there's so many cuts on small stuff. Crack, 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 crack straight through. So really, it's still a really good time saver. Obviously it's not ideal for, you know, what it can actually do, but we are working and it's going good. Got a few more bits of really small stuff to do, and then we're going up to like, I don't know, 5-inch stuff, I think, for, I don't know, maybe a deck or maybe less, and then we're back down to like Coke can sizes after that. So we're not far off. We were debating whether there'll even be enough for today, but as I said, it's hard to find small stuff that can take you absolutely forever, or you can fly through it. You know, if it goes all right, you're doing the same amount of cuts, but you can't really tell what's in the pie when it's, you know, really small stuff. You don't know what to expect. I'm gonna put this away and I'll catch you in a bit. So, it's the next morning. I couldn't film on the way home and do this chat on the way home because I ran out of storage on my SD card. I'm not sure why. I think I have to reformat it every now and again because it saves all like the old data. It's not a problem. I can sort it, but I just didn't want to lose any footage I had got. So, all sorted now, we're back on. So what I say is, what we have managed to get done on the timber we had, I think is outstanding. We got 50 something cubed, well, it's 50 IBC cages, so they're all 1.2, and some of them are really over full as well. So, I don't know, I think we did really well. We probably had one day, couple of hours, maybe 2 hours on the first day, 3 hours max, with good timber. And then we just went down in size. Single split timber. And anyone who runs machines knows to maximise your machine's capability, the cut is the cut, especially on something with a bladed processor over here, chainsaw chain processor. Once you make that cut, that's the hard part done. So they're pretty fast. So you want to maximise your splitting wedge. So your max diameter, you did a load of stuff at max diameter that you go in that machine with a good wedge, and as long as it produces good logs, you're flying all day long. Okay, and having smaller timber really doesn't make it any quicker at all. The only thing is you're changing your crates more when you've got bigger timber because it fills up a lot quicker. So this is more of a video, and I hope you get some understanding from this video that a good machine, even if you've got small timber, and again, a lot of this is chipper grade. He brought it on a punt, he still made money from it. I wouldn't say a small amount, I wouldn't say a big amount. He's done okay out of it by the sounds of it. So there is still money in everything as long as you schedule things and work things out correctly. If he had done this on his small process that he's got, he reckons he would have had 4-5 days-ish there. Now, if he's got 4 or 5 days on a really small, cheaper processor, you've got to think, okay, it's cost him X. It's not worth having us come up, but actually it is, because if you price in his time, let's say in a good bloke, you want to be pricing yourself in anywhere between 1 and 150 a day minimum, okay? Then you got your machine costs, maintenance costs, all that lot. You might even need to sub in another bloke to help you, like me and Jay. Technically, we didn't need 2 of us, but I don't know what his process is like, so you may have needed 2 people for that. It's not really that much of a dearer cost. In essence, he's got it done 3-4 times as quick. So it has still been really cost effective for him to get us in, because after the first day we were judging, we stood there and said, look, I'm not sure how long this is going to take. It could take half a day, it could take a full day. Small timber of that size is it's hard to judge, okay? The stack looked tiny, but again, you got a lot of timber out of it. The downside to doing it like that, there could have been a chance that there wasn't enough timber to keep us going for the full day, which means he's not getting enough production, which wouldn't work out financially viable for him. But we made the agreement, and again, he's glad he did. I used my knowledge of what the piles look like, and what they should look like, and what sort of volume we'll get out of it. And I think I was crack on when I said it would take us about a day. We're at an hour shy, but by the time we cleaned up, packed up, and got everything done, we were crack on time. So good estimating from me there. Over the moon. And then things change, okay? So I've always said business is difficult. Running this sort of business is difficult, right? So luckily enough for us, we have many avenues we make money from the mobile processing to the wholesale to the domestic sales. We don't really make anything from the YouTube, but the marketing sort of thing we do for some people, and the mini log burners and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is, when you have a lot of avenues, if something was to go wrong, you've still got hopefully a cash flow. Well, last night on the way back, we basically had a full week's worth of processing booked in, split over 2 people. One chap was booked in for 4 days, another chap was booked in for 1 day. That gives us 5 days, and then I'd go to the yard on the weekend and do a load of stuff on the weekend. So, sorry about the speed bumps, by the way. So, on the way home, one chap cancelled. He said, look, I haven't been able to do much logging for the Splitter 400. I don't want to pay you for a day's logging because it's not worth it. I'd rather get the maximum capacity out of the Splitter 400. I'm really, really sorry. Obviously, hopefully, it's just 1 day short of a week's notice. I was hoping to get more done than yesterday, but I'm busy all week. No problem, chap. We'll get you rescheduled back in. Boom, done. So that's been pushed back. And this morning I got a phone call. Wait, it started off as a text message and a phone call. The other chap who's booked in for 4 days, he's stuck on a job and he's got another big job starting straight after. He's a bit delayed, hot weather and whatnot, and a few other little bits involved. So he's been pushed back, but because of his next project, he's been pushed back 6 to 7 weeks. So, if you look at it right there, let's say you could have lost 3 grand's worth of work next week for 2 lads, 4 grand's worth of work next week for 2 lads, depending obviously what the week is. Could be 2 grand, I don't know. But what you got to bear in mind is that if you've purchased machines on finance to purposely only do this, then you can become very stuck quickly. There has been jobs I've got to site, and I kid you not, I've got to site. So I prep my clients beforehand. I've told you many a times, even on a long form video, that I'll say, this is what you need, this is what we can do. You need this to offload this, or that to offload that. You'll need something to load this deck, and I walk through everything, and it's all cushy. Double check. Always double check. Maybe the week before, right, we're still in for next week, blah, blah, blah. Have you sorted this out? Have you got one of these? Blah, blah, I can't remember what you said. Yep. So I always like to double confirm. I've been to jobs where I've travelled 3 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, got up at the crack of dawn, and I've got there, and they've got not the medium Avant, not the big Avants, the tiniest Avant loaders to try and offload a 1.6 to 1.8 ton machine. It's happened more than once. Oh, the farmer let me down last minute, and then you can't get anyone to offload it. So Obviously they have to pay for a bit of travel and stuff like that, but it's still, instead of having 3 days booked in or 2 days, something like that, that 1 day's turned into, you know, 1 day, or maybe if they're local, a bit of discounts. I haven't had to travel so far. There has been plenty of times things like that have happened. However, for me at the minute, because of my client range and because of my reputation for hard, good work, honest work, we don't have a shortage of inquiries, so you can kind of whip things in last minute, move things around, and sometimes a few days off. Right, I won't say off, we were busy in the yard. He's quite good. It gives you time to do the things that you didn't get a chance to do. But do bear in mind, if this is the sort of thing you're looking to do, you think, you earn money all the time, it's a lot of hard work and graft to get that. And I can guarantee there's someone else I know who does something similar to me, and he does a cracking job, but he takes time off in between some jobs. You do a block of jobs and take some time off, because it is very demanding on the body and the mental state as well. Obviously we're getting up really early to travel. So my lad Jay, he tries where he can, but he struggles to do this sort of thing. He's not an early morning person, but he is a hard worker, so it's hard to be both early morning and a hard worker, coming back late. By the time you close your eyes, you open them again to crack on again, and to do that consistently. Like, I think the furthest span I've ever gone is 2 months, maybe a bit more, and then I've had to have a couple of days at the yard, and that's when I was trying really far, because I tell you what it is, and it's one that you wouldn't have thought of. This drive on the way back, after a long day's work, sometimes it does get you back on the way back, just sitting in these seats, no matter what vehicle I go in, it does get you up, but it's given me a chance to do maintenance for those 2 days, so even sometimes it's been 1 day. But I like to get straight back out there. If I could do this every day of the year, I would love to. I think my body will only just allow me to do that, but I would love to give it a crack to say, look, I've done 365 days, minus, you know, Christmas and stuff like that, on the machines. That would be wicked. I'd enjoy that. But hey ho. So that is it for this video. We had a cracking job. You know, we worked out on, well, I think it was 50 or 52 kgs. He wants us back, which is great. I love that he was a new client. The first job's always like showing them what it can do, what we can do, getting the setup right. And I've always said the first time you'll get a good amount done, and if the timber's right the second time, now you know what the machine runs like and how it operates and what it sings bells and whistles on, because seeing's believing at the end of the day. You can say it, but you know, a lot of people see it and go, oh right, okay, let's crack on with that then. We will be booked back in with him in no time. It's been absolutely great. I've enjoyed the video, enjoyed making it. I've got tons and tons of content. I'm really cracking down and firing it out now. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate all your input and all your help. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're involved in the firewood industry, if you're a tree bloke, if you're a landscaper, if you just deal with kindling, if you just do wholesale, you do domestic. Let me know what you do. I want to really start to get to know this community. We're really building it now, getting a lot of interest from a lot of people. And if you need any advice, you need anything at all, you know where I am. See you on the next one.